I would like to talk about unlocking emotional intimacy as an actor. Do you want to move beyond being a good technical actor into a transformational one? In this video, I will explain what intimacy means in the art of acting and explain how you can put it into practice in your acting craft. Every good actor knows the technical side of the work. Lines, blocking, objective, tactics, and script analysis. The technical aspects of the craft are important. They are the scaffolding of every drama. But the actor that wants to go deeper and become more transformational in their craft must reach beyond the technique and into something more elusive and infinitely more powerful. Intimacy. Intimacy in acting is the thing that causes the audience to lean forward without realizing they're doing it. It connects them to your character in a way that feels alive, electric, and unpredictable. True intimacy in acting doesn't mean proximity. It means transparency. It's about allowing someone, your scene partner, the audience, letting them see inside of you. My mentor, Susan Batson, in her acting book, Truth, talks about this very specifically. She said that intimacy in the artistic sense means, and I quote, "into me see." That describes, in a nutshell, how intimacy in the craft of acting is an act of profound artistic courage. Here's why I believe intimacy is the actor's ultimate gold. In the art of acting, everything, believability, connection, truth, flows out of your willingness to be seen. Many actors spend their early years learning how to act. And at first, this may include a presentational version of human emotion. But as the actor goes deeper in their studying, they learn that the audience responds to authenticity. And the reason why the audience responds to authenticity is because they respond to things that they can recognize within themselves. That's what makes the art of acting so powerful. So we can admire a performance that's technically impressive, but as an audience, we can only feel a performance where the actor lets us in. Intimacy, or as Susan Batson brilliantly breaks it down, "into me see," is what bridges the gap between performing and a much deeper sense of humanity and life. When an actor reveals the truth, even in a subtle way, the audience automatically becomes emotionally invested. They enter into the character's interior world. Intimacy invites the audience to invest. One of the biggest challenges in the actor's journey to achieving this milestone in their work is something that is innately inside of all of us as human beings: the fear behind being seen. "Into me see" sounds poetic, even a little bit mystical, but to everyday people, it can be absolutely terrifying. Human beings spend much of their time constructing their masks, social, economical, and professional masks. When you become an actor, it demands that you learn how to take those masks off, even in very simple ways. For example, even just being able to achieve the truth of privacy on camera or on stage, for example, in front of strangers, while at the same time embodying a character who may be experiencing things that you in real life avoid. This is an extremely difficult part of becoming a more transformational actor. When you look at it this way, no wonder some actors find themselves resisting true intimacy in their work. To let someone, quote unquote, see into you means exposing your vulnerability, letting go of your concern about how you're perceived. It means putting yourself on the line emotionally. It means that you're willing to risk being judged, and you are surrendering yourself to the moment without knowing what's going to happen. Acting is an extremely difficult craft, not because it asks us to pretend, but because it asks us to stop pretending. So the first step to achieving intimacy in your work as an actor begins with self-intimacy. So here's the truth. You can't offer intimacy in your work as an actor if you can't tolerate intimacy with yourself. So many acting techniques exist out there. Doesn't matter whether it's repetition, sense memory exercises, relaxation exercises. All of these techniques are really about helping the actor excavate the layers and the defense mechanisms that block deeper emotional awareness. The deeper you understand your own self and your own emotional landscape, the more available you become with your impulses and your emotional landscape within the character and within a scene. Self-intimacy means understanding your vulnerability, recognizing your own defense mechanisms, naming the feelings that you avoid, looking inward with self-compassion, and acknowledging the parts of yourself that you would rather hide. However, intimacy does not mean bringing personal trauma to the character. It means knowing your internal landscape well enough to let your truth breathe within the character's truth. So here's what intimacy in acting looks like in practice. Some actors may ask, what does being seen actually look like on stage or on camera? Here are some subtle yet powerful examples of intimacy and how it shows up in a performance. Number one, you listen to respond, not wait for your cue. This is extremely important. True connection begins with presence. When you hear your partner, really hear them, not the line, but the person. When you can achieve that, your performance shifts from being just simply mechanical or technical and becomes alive. That is one example of intimacy in practice. Number two, your body reacts before your brain has the chance to edit. What does that mean? Micro expressions, flashes of truth passing through your mind. These are all of the gold nuggets of intimacy and spontaneity in the work. They only appear when you stop micromanaging your reactions or anticipating how you should react to something in a scene. When you, as the actor, can trust that you've done your work, you've done your homework, you've worked on the material, you've worked on the character, and you can just exist as if you don't know what's going to happen. And your body will take over and you let yourself breathe and surrender. That's where all the magic starts to happen. Tennessee Williams once said of Marlon Brando that his face had these incredible flickers of life on film. I always loved how Tennessee Williams described Marlon Brando's very special ability as a film actor. His willingness to be that vulnerable and available and just let his body react in the moment was really one of the things that made his work as an actor so legendary, and was one of the reasons why Marlon Brando was so revered and admired by every great actor that came after him. Number 3, you allow stillness instead of acting. Actors often equate energy with moving around, but energy with intimacy many times lives in stillness. And that's when you let yourself be, not perform. Number 4, you're willing to be affected. Intimacy is an exchange. It's reciprocal. If nothing changes you in the scene, the audience will feel like everything's on the surface. And number 5, you don't clean up. Doesn't matter what you're experiencing as the character emotionally. It might be shame, uncertainty, longing, fear, hope. These deep experiences are the fingerprints of humanity. Sometimes they're intense, sometimes they're ugly, sometimes they might even feel scary, but remind yourself you are always safe in art, and allowing yourself to show them is the ultimate example of artful intimacy. So intimacy improves every type of performance, even comedic ones. Oftentimes, we assume that intimacy belongs in romance or drama or tragedy. But great comedic actors, they know that great comedic performances require a willingness to be vulnerable. The funniest moments often comes from the character fully experiencing something embarrassing, absurd, or heightened with a level of life or death stakes. In comedy, intimacy allows the audience to laugh with the character, not at the character. In drama, intimacy allows the audience to ache with the character. In romance, it allows the connection between the characters to feel real and true rather than staged. Intimacy is the actor's gateway into undeniable universality. So there's an interesting paradox that comes with opening up intimacy in your work as an actor, which is the more that you share, the safer you actually become. That might sound a little bit counterintuitive, but actors who can master bringing intimacy into their work, they become more grounded and more secure, not less. Now, why is that? Because once you allow yourself to be seen, you stop worrying about it. Vulnerability becomes a chosen path and can fill the actor with confidence and maybe even a sense of healthy irreverence. I'm sure you've seen acting performances like that. It becomes freedom. Opening up to your intimacy in your acting is freeing. It gives you the freedom to fail openly, try boldly, risk yourself emotionally, surprise yourself, and just embrace the truth. Once you stop hiding in the art, the joy of acting swiftly takes over. So, in conclusion, into me see is much more than just a clever phrase. It is the quiet heartbeat of acting as art. Great acting isn't just about showing the public persona of your character. It's about showing the private areas of the character that they can't hide, even when the public persona is super strong. It's about surrendering the presentational version of yourself and letting the raw, unfiltered human you seep through the cracks. When actors embrace intimacy in their work, not as a technique, but as a philosophy, their work transcends. They stop acting. They stop playing at the character, and they start embodying a soul. And the audience will recognize themselves in the characters that you create. That's magic. That's art. And that's why intimacy is gold. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Click on the description below for links to our website and to learn more about the new Collective Acting Studio and our private coaching membership. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.